what we are talking about here. Okay, excellent.
Directions are extremely important. They play a major role to understand this term, this Vastu.
Excellent. So here we are. Okay.
Before to tell about the directions to the viewers, they should know basic 5 elements as well. According to me, what are the basic 5 elements is that first is water, then we have air element, then we have fire element, then we have earth element. And then the last we have ether element, and the ether element is also known as space element or sky element or akash tattva. So this is how the whole cycle of 5 elements goes on and on like that. And based on these cycle of 5 elements, everything depends. Every Vastu principle depends. Existence depends.
Excellent. Okay, let's go with the direction. So for people who are not familiar with the directions, we're gonna show here in an easy way Vastu right now. Okay, so now you can explain if you want.
Okay, as the presentation is in front of us, so basically everybody is very familiar with 4 directions, right? Like they must have listened somewhere in the videos or to somebody like north, east, south, and west, like that, right? So north, east, south, and west. These 4 directions are very common, are very basic directions. They are the base of the next coming directions, right? So if we just focus on north direction, so it's a starting also, and it's an ending also of the whole circle of 16 directions. So that's why we give the degrees to it as 0 or 360. 0 is that it is the starting, and 360 is because it's completing the whole circle of 16 directions, and a whole circle is known as 360 degrees. So basically, north is a starting point, which we call it 0 and 360 degrees. Now, from north, if we move towards the east, so we have towards the right hand side, so we have east direction, which is 90 degrees. Basically, it's making a right angle triangle, right? So this is a 90 degree east. Now, from east, if we move towards more down towards the right of it, then we have south direction, which is 180 degrees. Now, why 180? Because it's completing the half of the circle, right? That's why 180 degrees. Then from south, we move forward towards the west. Then this we have 270 degrees. And from west, if we move, completing the circle, again coming to the north, this is again 360 degrees. So this is how the whole circle is being completed within 360 degrees. Now, these are basic introduction about 4 directions. Now, if we talk about the next 4, so we will be dividing the north and east direction. And by dividing this direction, we'll be getting one more direction, which is known as north. Half part of north and half part of east, which we call it northeast direction. And northeast is because it's a half of north and east. That's why the degrees of northeast is 45 degrees, like that. Okay. Now, coming to the east again, that is 90. Now we are dividing again east and south. So we'll be getting one more direction, which is known as southeast direction. Means half part of south and half part of east. That is makes us southeast direction. And southeast is a 135 degrees direction. Right? Now how 135 comes up is 90, that is east, plus 45 we do. So we're getting 135 degrees like that. Now coming back to the south, that is 180 again. Now if you're making half of south and west direction, so we'll be getting one more direction, which is known as southwest direction, which is 225 degrees direction. Okay, so this is how southwest comes. Half part of south and half part of west, which is 225. Now coming back to the west again, 270, making half of west and making half of north. We're getting one more direction, the last one, that is northwest direction. Half of north and half of west, which is 315 degrees. Now coming back to again the north, which is 360 degrees. So this is how we give in a short introduction about main 4 directions, north, east, south, and west. And then again main 4 directions of northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest.
Excellent. So okay, for the people who speak Spanish, this is for us, okay? This all represent oeste, west in English, and noroeste or northwest in English, okay? So that, just to clarify that. Excellent. Okay. Now, coming to the remaining ones now, the remaining directions which are left with. Now, we are done with total 8 directions for now.
Now we are left with now remaining 8 directions. Now where this remaining 8 directions will come from? They'll come from this whole circle only. Now where we'll be marking the another direction is between north and between northeast. We'll make again a half of it. And we'll be getting one more direction, which is known as north-northeast. NNE, we call it in short form. Now, why NNE? Because it's near to north and far away from east. That's why one part of east and two parts of north, more part of north. That's why we are giving this name as NNE, north-northeast direction, right? Now we come to northeast, and then between northeast and east, if we make another half of it, so we'll be getting one more direction, which is known as east northeast, means double of east and single of north, because it is far away from north and near to east. That's why we are giving the name is east northeast. Okay, now coming back to east. So this much directions we are dealing with. North till east, we have north northeast, we have northeast, then east northeast, and then east. These are very, very important directions, and whole of the Vastu depends on these directions. You get every single question, answers, problems, everything can be correlated with these directions. They're extremely important. Now, coming back to east. If we make half of east and southeast, we're getting one more direction, which is known as SESE, east, south, east. That is double of east and single of south, because it is far away from south and near to east. That's why ES. Okay, now coming to southeast, the next direction of this. Now between southeast and south, we make one more direction, which is known as south-southeast. Now south-southeast because it is near to south and far away from east. That's why it's giving to name is SSE, south-southeast. So this is how we complete the half circle till south with the remaining directions, right? Now, from south and southwest, we will be making one more direction, which is known as SSW, south, southwest. Okay, so south, southwest, why? Because it is near to south and far away from the main direction, that is west, south, southwest, right? Now, from south, southwest till then southwest, then from southwest till west, we'll be making one more direction, which is known as WSW, west, southwest. Okay. Now from west, southwest, moving towards west, and then from west till northwest, we are making one more direction, one more part, which is known as west, northwest, WNW. Now why WNW? Because double of W and single of north means it is near west and far away from north. That's why we are giving the name as WNW. Okay, then WNW, then we have northwest, which is already mentioned, and the last one we have, that is NNW, north, northwest. Now why north, northwest? Because it is already near to north and far away from west. That's why it's NNW. And this is how we'll be completing the complete circle of 16 directions, which will be creating a base to understand the terms and principles of this whole science.
Excellent. So as you mentioned, there is a lot of information here. Of course, in a deep understanding of Vastu, we can give all the meanings, right? Now,
yes.
For example, this could be a little bit difficult to understand for people. And then how these directions will affect my life. So what is this? I mean, how these can affect everything that I do in my destiny. So in my karma. Now we have prepared another presentation, so we can be a little bit clear on that. So if you can help us, will be amazing.